I don't know what happened, Conor. I just read it in Wales Online or something. Like there was 3 or 4 police cars, a police helicopter, 4 arrests, and 4 people in hospital.
Yeah, there was the armed police force were there as well.
Yeah.
Brilliant. There's a lot of gypsies in Gorsainen. On the, you're coming out of Gorsainen, going towards Pentliget.
Yeah.
On that road, there's as you come past the last houses, there's like trees on your right hand side, and if you drive down there in the night, you can see the lights of the gypsies behind the trees. And that's apparently where they all stay. You know that city paving guy? That's where he lives.
You're a brave man driving down there at night, Biscuit.
You make it sound very romantic.
on the main road.
The raggle-taggle gypsios.
Yeah, on the main road, I think you're okay. I don't think I'd go the other side of the trees where they are, but
the sound of balalaikas as well, then.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe, he's got a bloody caravan. He's one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know whether it was one of them from that site, but it was some gypsy funeral, wasn't it? And then they must have all gone back to Gorsainen at some point.
They got totally arsed and then went to the crime.
And then they were in a hell of a fight apparently in Gorsainen. Some bloke had his arm, I'm not sure if it was actually cut off, but there was machetes and God knows what they were using. So not that I often go to Gorsainen on a Friday night, but it was certainly something to avoid last Friday.
Well, that's pretty good for gyppos because they don't usually use knife and forks, do they?
No. Yeah. It was always a tasty place, so Gorsainen.
Mm. Well, we used to have a Hollywood Bowl there, a skate park, didn't they?
Yeah.
That was the only part of Gorsainen I ever knew.
Is that still there then?
I don't know. No, it's been taken out years ago. It was never any good anyway. It was useless, dangerous.
Smart women, always smart women.
Yeah. Some nice women there. Yeah.
But so I don't want to go on about the skate park. So do you think the one they're doing down here will be successful, considering you can have scooters, skateboards, and BMXs on it?
Yeah, but it's they could do better for the price, honestly, and they could be in a better place. I'm with you on that one, Michael. I was happy they were going.
I just wondered. I know that's all done now, as far as I'm concerned. I just wondered if you think it would work.
If it would work, well, it's a piss poor park. There's not much in it, you know. It's like it's really Swansea Council Park sort of thing. It's not the Swansea Council who designed it, but it's so simple that after a week there's going to be no challenge.
Maverick designed it, but it always seemed to me that if you have 4 people there, it's going to be full. If you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it will be full, but that would be. I reckon it would be rated as a beginners to nearly being able to skate properly park.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen the plans, so I've only seen projected photos of it, and it looks to me as if I would go when I was skating, I would go to a park like that once or twice. But then there would be other places you could skate for much better, much more taxing or technical.
Yeah. It shouldn't have been there, and it should have been somewhere else, and it should have been indoors. Yeah. Because how many days of the year is going to be used? And if it's indoors, it's controlled. I used to take my son all over the country to these skate parks, and they were all controlled. So you'd have skateboarders, you'd have BMX bikers, you'd have someone else. So when he went there, it was just all skaters, and he may get like 50 skaters in there, but they all knew where they were going, what they were doing, and nobody ever sort of hit each other.
Did you ever
How
take
do-
him
how do
to?
they-
Go on, Biscuit.
How do they, if you're designing one of those and it's like a series of bowls, how do they contend with rainwater?
Difficulty because when the tide comes in, it ain't going to go anywhere, is it?
Yeah.
No, I
Just
don't mean
roll out
that.
the
I
ground.
just mean if you've got a concrete bowl outside that's in the rain.
Nobody skates in the rain. You can't do it in the rain.
No, but after it stopped raining, there's going to be a big puddle there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they have some sort of drainage, but they have had some problems.
Yeah. But the problem is with that as well, that they haven't picked up, is that they can't just drain into the sea because of the pollution laws now.
Yeah.
I mean, if
When the tide comes in, it'll just won't go anywhere.
What they would have to do would be like you do for a house with a cesspit sort of thing, but a heavy drainage pit.
Yeah. There's no plans for any pumps or anything there, Con. So,
Yeah, but it's not deep enough, really, and it's it's in the sinkhole anyway, isn't it? You know.
Well,
the thing when they start to build it and they make an application for building regulations approval, the building regs are going to say, "Well, what are you going to do with the surface water? Oh, we just pour it into the ground. Oh, can't do that, mate. Can't do that."
Yeah.
You'll end up having to pay for some sort of
underground
system.
Yeah, but surely this isn't the first one to be built. Haven't they come across these problems before?
Yeah, but they weren't with Swansea Council.
Yeah, but the Lord,
on, Con, I got to stop. It's not Swansea Council. They got nothing to do with it.
All right. Sorry, Mike.
It's Mumbles Council. So.
All right. Well, Mumbles Council then. All right. All right. Well,
just that someone will pick up on it somewhere along the line.
National Resources Wales have just recently introduced new legislation regarding runoff of surface water, which is proving almost impossible to overcome. So if you build a house, you build a factory, no matter what you build, it's almost impossible to deal with the runoff of surface water and effluent. Nobody knows the answer. But National Resources World said you can't let it go anywhere. So all developments are going to come to a standstill in the next few months. You know,
so why can't it? And obviously, we would have to be mechanical, but why can't it just be pumped into a drain on the main road where that water would have gone to anyway?
Because the surface water drainage systems throughout the country are overloaded. They can't take it. In fact,
but what I'm saying is that water isn't going to be any more than it would be if there wasn't a skate park there.
Yeah, but what the answer to that is, when it hits the ground, it soaks into the ground slowly. And it discharges somewhere else. But if you've got a concrete bowl, it like fills up and then it suddenly discharges somewhere else in a concentrated.
Turn it into an aquarium and then build another one somewhere else.
Yeah, fill it up.
They got the big lake next to it anyway.
They got what?
The big lake next to it, that floods, doesn't it? The area next to it. Well, they never built there.
Oh, they'll invent a new thing called skimboard skating. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I specifically asked about this actually, and I said to them, you know, I can't see a pumping station. What you do with the water? And I was told sluice skates. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, they could let the water out at low tide, and it wouldn't get mixed in with the seawater, would it? Then.
When the tide comes back in again.
Yeah, but then it's all sunk into the sand, isn't it?
Perhaps they'll invent a skateboard, which will also be a dredger.
Yeah. You know, Con, we had the same problem with Kipper knows this. I'm sure probably everybody does about putting the sand that's blown onto the roads back onto the beach.
Yeah,
we weren't allowed to do that.
It's contaminated with the salt and all the crap from the cars.
So they sweep it all up, everything that had blown onto the roads, and take it to landfill sites.
It's sand hills all over the place, like it used to be mine workings.
Talking about the control of surface water and that sort of crap, and Biscuit will be interested in this, I think, because I was reading an article the other day about e-car fires, electric car fires.
Yeah.
As soon as an electric car goes on fire, the fire crew have to establish a source of 10,000 gallons of water and then set up an action plan for the management of the wastewater from it.
Yeah.
Because an e-car on fire gives off carbon monoxide and hydrogen cyanide. So that rather than establish 10,000 gallons of water and the problems that causes, he just let the bastard burn.
Yeah.
which can last for a week.
Some of the in London, apparently, they've got the fire stations have a huge tank, and they spray water on the car as it's burning till they get it there, and they dump it into this huge pond of water. Just to nothing else you can do. There's no way of stopping it.
Because it can burst into flames any day up to a week afterwards.
Yeah, it just carries on.
Yeah.
And the only way to do it is to actually sink it underwater.
So what are you talking about, the battery?
Yeah.
The fuel cells, yeah.
So how do they get the fuel cells out to put them in the board? They put the whole car in.
Well, they just drive the whole car and chuck it in the pond. That's it.
Yeah.
So
no way you can put it out.
The foam doesn't do it?
No water, no foam, no nothing.
Because the chemicals still reacting.
It actually generates its own oxygen. It generates its own fuel to burn.
That sort of sounds like a new type of generator, power source to me then.
Yeah, it's called a fuck up.
Yeah, we should just link them up to a power station.
Yeah. We were up in Toyota the other week, funnily enough, and they got the new, it's a new all-electric, it's like an all-electric RAV4. And very nice looking car. So the salesman was looking at this, looking around it, and it is quite nice to look around. And so I said to him, "What sort of price range is this going to be in?" And it was, he said, it's anything between 45 and 55 grand. Right? When you think about it, like a Tesla, you're looking at about 80 grand, aren't you? I think, from what I'm told. But he said, believe me, he said, do not think about buying an electric car.
Yeah.
Because it's just not going to work. Because he said, well, as we've said before now, they got to generate so much electricity from a power station to recharge all these electric cars. So instead of fumes coming out from your individual cars, it's just the power stations are going to be kicking out the same amount of fumes.
It's all a conspiracy, a complete conspiracy.
Yeah.
But, that's the problem. They're going to make it work, aren't they? Whether it works or not.
Well, it's like 20 years ago they said everybody's going to have a diesel car. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Discount on diesel cars. Discount on diesel. Everybody went and bought that. And then 10 years later, oh crap! Oh, diesel's really bad. Oh, we're going to charge you more for diesel now. And, they're going to be banned. I think, well, hang about now. 10 years prior to that, we were all, being convinced that diesel was the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah. And it's the same thing with electric cars.
Yeah.
There's not enough electric in Britain for people to have electric cars, as we know. And there's not enough lithium in the world to provide enough electric cars. The whole thing is just a complete and absolute joke.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this country will buy into it hook, line, and sinker.
Well, just take the Brexit. There we go. Country's full of fucking idiots, man.
Well, it's not. It's the politicians are idiots, and they're just lining their own pockets with money. They don't really care toss today. They know they're in there for 4 years, maybe 5. They're going to cream it, and then off they go. End of story. Are they really bothered? I don't really think so. Very cynical way of reviewing the politicians, but that's the way it is.
Yeah.
They come and go, they take their money, and off they go.
I think you're right. I think there's 1 or 2 exceptions to that, but otherwise,
possibly you're right. There's always a few in there, Mike, who do it what they should be doing, but the majority are just in there to cream it.
But why? Yeah. Why are there so many gullible people in the public?
Well, we believe. I say we, the public. We believe a lot of what the politicians say.
Well, they fucking dull or what? They fucking top.
The public are. They just
what? No, but the difference is, hang on, all right? We are public, okay? we're not mega brainy, we're not stupid, but we're your average Joes, okay? Or your average guys, all right? But I know, as soon as I listen to a politician, I know he's not fucking telling the truth because he won't answer a question yes or no. And that's the ultimate answer, if he's in it for himself, is ask him a question where he's got to answer yes or no. But you just go off.
Never get a politician to answer yes or no, Con.
No, exactly.
Never
So you can't fucking trust the fuckers because they won't give you a yes or a no. Because they won't say yes, because later on it might ruin his career prospects. He won't say no because later on it might he might not get the bonus from another company that was going to offer him a direct.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter today, does it? Because, as Kipper says, the two people that are fighting to be leader of the Tories, one of them said he was going to do something with taxes, and then his ratings dropped down. So 24 hours later, he did it. He did 180-degree turn, and he said, "No, we're not going to do that with taxes anymore. Now we're going to do this."
I've always had this policy that if you want to be a politician, you go into politics to serve the people. You go in there, you get £250,000 a year, whatever the going rate will be at the time, but you're not allowed to be involved in any other company. You relieve yourself of all your directorships, and you're not allowed to be involved with any company whatsoever. End of. You know? Yeah. Or you get 250, maybe 350. I don't care. I don't care how much it is. But all the politicians are all involved with companies, and they all make decisions based on the companies they work for. And it shouldn't be allowed.
And if they're not, their wives are.
Yeah, or the wives are. Once you become a politician, that's a lot, mate. You have to cut all ties with all companies, all businesses, everything you own.
Yeah.
And then you find that people only do it for the job they do. And it's 52 weeks of the year, normal holidays, none of this 13 weeks bleeding summer holiday. What's that all about?
A serious question. Do you think when they start, they went in with the best intention, or do you think they went in with an aim to make a sort of a name?
No, they always start with best intentions.
Yeah.
But it's like, yes, minister, they all got these great ideas and do this, do that. And they go, well, you can't actually do that, minister. It's the civil service that run the country, and the politicians who fuck it up.
Yeah, no. I don't know.
Cut that out, Con.
Yeah.
Certainly not. Certainly not. It's all that.
That's the way it is, and it really does upset me because we've probably got the best sort of government probably in the world, and it's rife with corruption and debauchery, and you think, well, if we got the best, what are the others like?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Frightening.
I think there's also the problem is they're all so similar, aren't they?
Well, Putin's got it right. If you argue, he just fucking shoots you.
Yeah.
He won't be able to do that for long, will he? But he's going to be thrown out, isn't he?
Excuse me, guys. The dog's giving me grief out the front. Yeah, I go. Hold on.
Is he still alive?
Anyway, we just came back from Brighton now, which is obviously the gay capital of the country, and it is a nice-ish place to go to. But on the site that we go to in Brighton, it's getting rammed now with you drive into it, and there's flipping Con's backdrop now. You've got everybody with their flags and their buntings all around their pitch.
I knew you were going to say that. That's why I put it up.
Yeah. And we walked past them, and they were two blokes standing outside there. I can't remember whether it was a caravan or a motorhome now, but they were, I don't know, like in their 40s or something, and they had their arms around each other. They weren't doing anything that they shouldn't have been doing. And one said, evening or something, and I just said hello, harmless enough. It doesn't really bother me that much. But then you see people like husband and wife and they got gay buntings all over their caravans. And you think, well, what's all that about then? And then dotted around this caravan.
Probably the kids are probably gay or something, you know?
More than likely. Quite possibly it is. But it's because, you know, like they say now, or they've come out now and they've told the world that they're gay, okay? We stopped in the centre of Brighton in this little restaurant thing, sat outside, and within 5 minutes of us sitting down, there was this bloke and this girl, probably in their 40s as well, as most of them seem to be. And as soon as she sat down, she like looked at me, and because she was like on the next table, but sitting facing me. And then she turned to this guy and she said, well, let's have a chat about this now. I'm AC/DC and you are non-binary. So what does that make us? Like, you know, and I thought, do I really want to know that you were AC/DC? You know, she was a nice looking girl and I don't have a problem with it, but I just don't understand why they feel the necessity to ram it in your face all the time.
Yeah, I fully understand that. And I think I got no problem with any of all this AC/DC, binary plus, G plus, all. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all.
No.
But why go around telling everybody?
Yeah.
I do what you like, you know, whatever you want to do what you like. But don't
I genuinely think
shouting at me about it.
Like when we were in Amsterdam, we got on one of these canal tourist boat things, and two guys got on, sat more or less opposite me, and as soon as they sat down, they start kissing each other, right? And I thought, Jesus Christ, you know, I don't want to see a bloke and a bird kissing each other, let alone two blokes. And I swear they look at somebody my age and they think, oh, there's an old bastard by here now. See if we can
Did you have your cap on, but Biscuit?
You what, man?
Did you have your cap on? Because you with that cap on, you're a bit of a gay icon as far as I'm concerned.
No, but I swear they just do it to get a reaction.
I think you're right, Biscuit. I think there's a lot of people just do it just to wind people up.
Yeah.
Why? You know?
Or maybe it was an invitation.
I don't care what people do. You know?
For you to join them, Biscuit. Maybe they were inviting you to come over for a little a coach.
I don't know what's happened. I do feel sometimes, you know, like you see some bird walking towards you and half her chest is hanging out. And Marion says, you're going to get your face slapped one day the way you looked at her there then. And I think to myself, I'm going to open my fly one day and pull my bollocks out and see if some bird looks at me.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say, what do you think you were looking at?
Yeah. We were in Sainsbury's this afternoon and exactly the same thing happened.
I think
a couple of young women in there.
We go on that road, to be honest.
And there was a girl there she had very big breasts and they were almost hanging out of her shirt, and she said, God, bloody hell, she said, you know, they're almost hanging out. I said, well, you know, it's the summertime, isn't it? You know, popping up for fresh air, you know. But obviously she just wanted to display the fact that she had huge breasts.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that at all.
I said, I couldn't say anything wrong with myself. You know, I wasn't complaining.
Where is the problem, like, isn't it?
But if you went down there and had half a bollock hanging out your pants, you'd be locked up.
Yeah, exactly. showing a bit of bollock cleavage.
You have to get your builder's jeans on and bend over.
Did you ever see the In-Betweeners? Do you ever watch In-Betweeners?
Yeah.
Well, there was one particular one when they were doing a fashion show, and one of the lads had a bollock hanging out, and he didn't realise, you know. And he's running a pair of really small swimming trunks, and he walks down, struts down, and everybody's going, obviously looking at, everybody's laughing their head off, you know. Because the headmaster guy gives him a right bloody telling off. He said, "Well, you didn't know my bollocks were hanging out, you know." But the thing is, You can have your tits hanging out, but you can't have a bollock hanging out.
No, that's right. Yeah. I remember one of the boys in work. He went into one of the controls, as Gary knew. There was quite a few controls in the tower block in the Strand, and this boy had always worked outside. And there was a girl who paid a lot of money. She was a beautiful looking girl. She paid a lot of money to have a boob job done. And she, if she spent, I don't know, 10 grand, she wanted to show 8 grand's worth of it. And she actually reported him for looking at her boobs, because they were virtually, there wasn't much of them not covered. And she's walking around, look at these pair of booties. And because he responded, and maybe staring at them for a bit too long, perhaps, but she actually reported him for,
visual harassment.
Harassment,
yeah.
There's a difference between looking and staring,
And dribbling.
Dribbling, yeah.
Dribbling is not acceptable, is it?
Yeah.
No, the world has gone mad. It is absolutely mad. If you're anything other than normal, if you're normal, you're the ones who are going to get harassed. Anybody else can do what they like, and you say, "Oh, I don't think that's right." You're going to get it. You're going to get a right gobful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the bloke that went to church, isn't it? And he came home with a black eye, and his wife said to him, she said, "Have you got a black eye going to church?" And he said, we all knelt down to pray, he said, and when I knelt down, this woman, her bottom of her dress had got stuck in the top of her knickers. So he said, so I just leant forward and pulled it out for her. And she turned around and whacked me. So she said, well, you need to be a bit more careful then. So the following week he went again, came home with the black eye on the other side. And she said, what have you done now? And he said, well, we leant forward, he said, and the bloke next door to me went to pull her skirt out of her knickers. And he said, I knew she didn't like it pulled out, so I tucked it back in for her.
No, it's a mad world. It really is. No matter what you say, you've got to be so careful. Because,
unless you're over 65.
Well, you can't get away with it,
Yes, you can.
Talk to my kids about,
you like then. That's what I found.
Yeah.
This black people thing, and I get really confused. I said, well, they're coloured. Oh my God, you can't say coloured. I said, well, they're not black, are they? Not white. They're like in between, they're coloured. No, you can't say coloured.
Can you say shaded?
What am I supposed to say?
Can you say shaded?
No. Of colour, Con.
Of colour. Off
You
colour.
can say of colour, but you can't say
Of
colour.
colour or off colour?
That's really not very distinguishing. I know we've had this
No,
conversation.
we're all off colour.
None of you are white.
No, it's just like, does it really matter? Why is it got to be, if you say the wrong thing, you're going to get chastised and...
No, it's comes back to that people have become so fucking unsupportive of anything. And they're just picking it like health and safety now. You can't do anything, You might remember like, this is harping on like an old guy now, I suppose. Only about 10 years old. I mean, you went out after you had your breakfast and you came in when the sun went down, sort of thing. Or you had an hour, maybe an hour, half an hour before where you knew what time you had to be back. But by this time, you've gone about 20 miles on the bike with all your friends, maybe down a beach or whatever, and just, Sam's coming in, he's a bit late. And you could have done all that and just climbed about 10 million trees, built a den in the fucking forest, I don't know, and now you can't even go outside on your own, a kid.
Parents do not like their kids going outside.
It's amazing. It amazes me that. Absolutely.
And you can see this when you go into Sainsbury's, you've got kids there and you think to yourself, oh my God, they're so overweight.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Because they never go out and they don't do the playing, running, climbing.
Anyway, and it's all going to
footballing.
be immaterial in the next few weeks once Russia's have already started, haven't they? China gonna start soon, and then we'll be donning our home guard uniforms.
Well, I tell you what, I got some friends, Australian friends, who talked to them last night, and she said in Australia they believe that China just wants to take over Australia. That is their next plan.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what they believe because they're infiltrating and trying to move in, changing the markets, trying to buy stuff, trying to move in, and they believe that China sees Australia as the next territory they want to take over.
I'm right.
Chinese, Australian,
Sorry,
late, everybody.
Yeah. What was that, Gary? Sorry.
The number of millionaires that have settled in Australia is absolutely massive.
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't you? It's a nice place to be, isn't it?
If you got money, yeah. And that's another thing as well. Is that if you got money, you could just go and live anywhere in the world, can't you? You just buy your way in. But you try and get a visa to live in Australia now without money, you're fucked.
It's the same anywhere now, Con.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One of the days where you could go anywhere you wanted to in the world.
Exactly.
Because you had a British passport, but now you're very lucky to get in anywhere now.
I saw that the British passport has gone from being the first in the world or fourth in the world for usage. It's gone down to about 14th. And the highest now is a Japanese passport.
Yeah, because they don't want to get out.
Sorry I'm late, everybody. I had serious things to attend to. Kim and I went out for a meal.
You got 6 minutes, Sam.
Yeah, I thought maybe I'd try and get back and just happy birthday to everybody. I dug out the old shirt of mine. Can you see it?
Oh, good one. Nice one. Which one?
Oh, yeah, absolutely brilliant.
1968.
Yeah, I got the original print for that.
Yeah, you said, yeah.
We were there, Con, remember that?
Yeah, we were there. Yeah.
Michael, did you get all your snappies done at the race then?
Yeah. I've sent you some on Messenger.
Yeah, I could see there were a couple waiting for me to look at. I just come back in now.
That's what I wanted to ask you, Mike. The photos you sent me of Sam, that was today, was it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I understand.
That's a secret for your background information.
Yeah. It's a great one of Sam looking out towards Mumbles Bay, towards Pier on his Harley. That's a good one, that one.
Yeah, some paparazzi got me.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, it got posted to France, mate. You're out. You're out there now.
I was telling Biscuit about your Cockett experience.
Oh yeah. So whereabouts are you? What's it called? Your road?
Me, Aldwyn Road.
Aldwyn.
Yeah.
Not Alden.
No, Alden is up by the police station.
Yeah, that's where Kim is. Alden Drive.
Oh, that's where she's gone to. Right. Okay.
Yeah, Alden Drive. So is it on the same? Where's that one then?
No, Alden Road is, as somebody said, if you come down Cockett Road, turn left into either the old police station or what used to be Dilwyn Llewellyn School.
Yeah.
You carry on past the school and it's up on the left-hand side. Whereas
there's a little dead end, the John Street or something.
That's right, yeah. But Aldwyn Road is down to Cockett Lights.
Yeah.
Turn left as if you're going to Bunarloedd.
Yeah.
And then first left.
Oh, I got you.
There's an estate up there.
Oh, I think Kim went to look at a bungalow up there.
All right.
If I remember rightly, only when she was looking for stuff,
Yeah. So who's gone there?
I don't know. She was looking at that little where you are, but the sounds of.
Right.
Kim, my partner, who now lives in this Alden Drive, that's where we've come back to now. That's why my backdrop is a bit different wall.
Right.
So was Dave on earlier?
Yeah.
Anybody else? How about
Howard was on as well.
All right. Oh, good. So 100.
Yeah, man.
Big 100. Yeah.
In fact, when I went to clock the bike race this morning, I was one of the first down to West Cross, me and 2 other women with their kids. And I went down on the bike, and this woman said, "Oh, it's Sam, isn't it?" She said, "I see you sometimes on the Silver Surface thing." So she
have fans,
she must, because I think, well, who looks at this then? And you don't get to know who's seen it. You don't get.
We got
How many viewers do you get, Con?
Huh?
How many viewers do we get?
In between 100 and 150.
No, there we are.
Right.
There's one guy. I gotta say hello. I gotta say hello to Cyril Preedy. Cyril, you're a gem, man. Thanks for all the comments. Great.
There we go. Good.
He loves the Silver Surfers, and you got a big hello from him. You know?
Is he a Paul Preedy relation?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. He's called.
Well, he commented on something that I said yesterday.
Wouldn't surprise me. He's a fan of yours, Biscuit.
Is he?
Yeah, massively.
You've got a very secret fan club. A lot of them in Brighton.
Does everybody share it when they get it down? Do you share it? I never share it. Perhaps
You should do. You should just share it and globally. You know.
I will do. I think I will.
Subscribe and share. Everybody out there, please subscribe and share, or just share it. You know, let the joy spread of the Langland base.
Con's gone into flogging mode. You can tell.
Yeah, gone into being
T-shirts available.
Do you a special deal?
I was talking about that.
He'd be wearing a flashy suit and a $9.99.
Yeah.
$9.99. Who wants that?
They're good. They're really great. I recommend them now. Yes, get a T-shirt. I'm not one to sell T-shirts, but they are available if people would like to have one. You just get in touch with me, you know.
You could be called Honest Con.
Honest Con. Oh, that'd be quite. That would be
the only honest con on the internet.
You better be careful, because on my screen you got Escobar sitting next to you.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
You have to change it a little bit. You'd be a con man then, instead of a con man.
That's right. Yeah, con man.
Do you remember the guy in Mumbles? Him and his wife, Ron. He was known as Ron the Con, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Remember he used to sell leathers from Oxford Street.
Yeah.
And what's his Amber, his daughter, married to Billy Reid. Yeah.
We're on a minute, guys, and it's going down. So,
a quick one, Kipper. Did you remember the name of that girl you were trying to remember last week?
I was hoping you guys would.
Oh,
no, I forgot all about it.
I'm sure it was Sue or Susan or something like that.
I see it was Marianne's birthday just the other day. Same age as me. I didn't realise.
75.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I know.
I think I'll have my hair and my nails done too.
I shall mention it to you next time I see you, Sam.
Yeah.
Start saying goodbye then.
See you next Friday.
Great one for the 100th. Lovely.
Yeah, great.
Everybody's effort and everything, man. Cool.
Yeah, great.
Say bye to everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye.